think a good night for us. A good night. A little even better than we anticipated. We spent a lot of time looking at the odds. We're big believers in the process and sort of how things play out, and we came in expecting our most likely outcome was to get 4 alone, was to get the 4th pick. That was the single most likely thing to happen, and the next most likely thing to happen was to get 3 alone. And so we were sort of sanguine about that coming in, that this is likely what would happen, and we'd play it from there.
Obviously, you were hoping maybe to get 3 picks from tonight. That would have been...
Yeah, the odds of that really, really small, and we were sort of cognizant of that. When we stared at it, we said 77% of the time we'd come out of here tonight with, quote-unquote, just 1 pick, just like the other teams on the dais tonight, and we'd have just 1 pick. The last 2 years, we've had 2 lottery picks, at least on draft night, out of each night, and going forward, we think we may have multiples again if the chips fall in the right place for us.
What were the emotions like from announcement of number 4, then to you get to that final third?
I think a night like this actually is a good night to sort of remind ourselves of what really matters and what we can control and what we can't. And a night like tonight, it's a fair game. It's a set of odds that are publicly known, and you let the chips fall where they may.
How much does like seeing guys in Chicago, especially because they had the 5-on-5 back this year, or even seeing like a Moutier in person in China, make a difference for you when you evaluate talent?
Every bit of evaluation in person really helps, and so I'm a big believer in that. And I don't spend enough time in Philly sometimes because of that, because I'm on the road a lot. It's important. It's important. So in Chicago was great. Chicago was a chance to see lots and lots of guys, primarily second-round guys, but not entirely, play. And it's better to see them play than just shoot. And it's better to see them shoot than just do nothing. And it's better to interview them than not be in the same city as them. So we'll sort of take the most information we can get wherever we can get it.
It's a hip pocket analysis, but I mean, if the big guys fall 1-2, I mean, it would look like a lead guard would be a guy you're going to look at. I know you don't want to say tonight, but I mean, is that a good analysis?
It'll be interesting to see how it all plays out. I think it's too early to know. I think this time of year everyone gets wed to what one mock draft or another says, and then over time you see that doesn't turn out to be true very much. So let's sort of see how things go. I think not only us, but I suspect both the Timberwolves and the Lakers and the Knicks around us, I think they'll do what we'll all do. I think they'll spend a lot of time trying to analyze the players that are likely to be available to them. That time might yield different results than what the prognosticators have laid out so far.
Is it possible this pick could be more valuable to another team than to you?
Well, it seems hard to believe. It seems really, really hard. I mean, we're clearly building through the draft. We're clearly trying to find star players that we can really move forward with. There might be other teams out there more interested and more committed to that sort of thing. I doubt it.
Would you like this to be your last lottery for a while?
We'd all love to play in June. I really will. I mean, you watch the playoffs. There's a playoff game going on right now that'll just be fantastic, and will probably be an interesting series with 2 really interesting teams. It's the best time of year. It's the best time of year, and so the sooner we can get there, the better.
Even though how much work have you done for the draft, and how much more do you have to do, if you will? I mean, I know you've done a lot.
We've done a ton, and we've really tried to do our work early in ways that have been unusual, I think, maybe for the Sixers in the past. That's important to me, and we've really turned up the heat in a big way for that. But it doesn't stop. I don't know. I'm not wired well to say that's enough. And so we'll spend a lot of time between now and then, mostly all the available time, to try to gain all the information we can to make good decisions. And by design, we'll have to make a decision at the end of June. But I think it's really a mistake to make one sometimes much, much earlier.
Same last year, 70, if I'm told the right number, guys came in for workouts. And,
that sounds about right.
Right.
Yeah.
Would be an accurate number probably that you will have done.
We don't target any particular number, but coming into tonight, it's a wide swath of picks that we could have. So like we're locked into the 60th pick. We have that. We have 5 seconds. Now we have this first. And so there's a big range for us from 3 to 60. And so because of that, we will try to see lots of players. I tell people this all the time. It's an important time to gather information about these players because for some of them, it's our last time. Right? Many of these players will get drafted, and some of them will play really well, and then you'll fast forward a few years and they'll be free agents. right? And we won't get a chance to have them in our gym and shoot and run and test and interview and do all those sorts of things. They'll be on television 82 nights a year. That's helpful, but we won't get an up close and personal feel like we can now, and we try to take advantage of that. I think we'll work out a lot. We won't target any particular number.
Do you think you know enough about the players available in this draft to know that with a top 3 pick, it's someone that could help move this franchise forward in the next direction?
I do. I think I feel that about the last top 3 pick we got. I feel like he could easily be a real difference maker, and sort of out of sight, out of mind, and I get it, and that makes sense. I understand that, but he too could be a real difference maker, and I think we'll have a chance to add another.
You got 2 guys going for Rookie of the Year next year.
Oh, we'll see. We'll see. I wondered if there was a little bias this year. I thought if you paid attention to Nerlens Noel in February and March and April, he was unquestionably one of the most impactful rookies in the league and one of the better young players in the league. If you chose to tune us out in November, I understand why maybe you voted where you did.